Hey guys, Chef Brad Kilgore here from Miami and Marigold's Brasserie. Today I'm going to show you how to make a quick pickle with red onion. A quick pickle is an essential technique that you want to have around the house because you can really use it for anything that you have laying around. So as a base for a quick pickle, here's a little bit of what you're going to need. We have some white vinegar, red onion, and then we have our staples, salt and sugar. Beyond that, you can pick and choose from some of the spices and herbs that you have around the kitchen, but today we have thyme, star anise, ginger, a little black pepper, and cardamom. So we're gonna start with the onion. We have a perfectly beautiful red onion here, and I'm gonna do a julienne cut on it. So start off by cutting both ends off the side. You wanna get that as flat as possible. A little bit easier to work with that way. Next up, split your onion in half. We have the inside, this lighter white side, and then the outside, you're gonna wanna get rid of that first layer. Sometimes the second layer, and you'll be able to tell if it's really dark purple, that flavor isn't as great, nor is the texture. Then gently separate it. So you take out that inside, put that to the side, we're just gonna cut that slightly differently. Repeat the process, center. We have our two halves of the red onion here. Of course, we have our core removed. We're gonna do with the core, so you're gonna utilize all the parts of this. Then we have our red onion. As you can see, guys, we have these nice, beautiful julienne cuts. Everything's pretty even. That way they pickle and cook evenly throughout the process. Now you can see we have our beautifully cut julienne red onion. Next up, our mason jar. You can use different types of containers. You just want to make sure that has a lid that'll seal tightly on top of it because we're going to pour a hot pickling liquid over that here in a few minutes. So basically, just fill it up with your onions. Don't worry about how full your jar is going to get because once you pour this hot pickling liquid into your jar, you're going to lose some of that volume from the onions or vegetables that you're pickling. Okay, so we have our julienne onions stuffed inside of our mason jar. Next up, we're going to measure our dry ingredients. For the sugar, we're going to do half a cup. This might adjust based on what type of vinegar you're gonna use. We're using white vinegar. If you had white wine vinegar, it naturally has some sugars in it. Use apple cider vinegar, you're probably gonna use less sugar because it naturally is a sweeter vinegar. 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 6 to 8 black peppercorns. So cardamom is usually used in maybe baking spices. And then of course, Indian cuisine. I like to use it in the pickle because it just adds this layer of kind of mystery. You're not exactly sure where that flavor is coming from, but you can taste it throughout the pickle. Here I have our dry ingredients. I'm gonna start putting that in the pan, and right behind it, gonna measure 1 cup of filtered water. We have medium-high heat here on our pickle. I'm gonna let it come up to the boil, just to boil or bubble 1 time. That ensures that the aromatics are starting. It should only take 3 to 4 minutes based on your stove. As we are waiting for this to come up to a boil, we're gonna put the last couple aromatics into our pickle. I've got some thyme. We're gonna slide this into the side of this jar. The last aromatic that we're gonna put into our hot pickle here is gonna be ginger. So we're gonna add the ginger that we just sliced. And I see that our pickling liquid is coming up to its first bubble. We don't need to boil it too much, but we wanna get it nice and hot. All right, carefully taking my hot pickle, pouring it into my measuring cup again that I use, just so I have that spout. We have our hot pickling liquid, pouring right over the red onions, the ginger, the aromatics into our mason jar. Safely near the top. I want to make sure that I get my beautiful peppercorns and cardamom in there. Just gonna scoop those out. We've made our hot pickle. You're gonna let this cool completely, and it's best if you wait until the next day. So it really infuses with that pickling liquid. But guys, as long as your pickles are staying below the water line, this will last 6 months at least in the refrigerator. And that is how you make a hot pickle. I'm Brad Kilgore for Robb Report.